So we're live streaming, folks. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, top of the time zone. I'm Alan Colvin. Welcome to the Indictment FM universe. Hey, we got tunes.
Now we're ready to get the show on the road.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's who we love and that's who we serve. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, top of the time zone. Welcome to the Intervision FM Universe podcast. I'm Alan C. Got Johnny J in the house. We got a very special guest from South Africa. We're going to talk a little bit about Joe Biden, Hunter Biden. We're going to talk a little bit about Hillary Clinton. Donald John Trump is in the news. Podcast on IntervisionFM.com.
Hi, everybody. This is the Godfather Soul James Brown. I tell you, that's where this is on. My man is on. Check him out. This is the Godfather Soul James Brown saying, stay with it and hit it.
Okay, we are up and going, and now I just want to have our stop the sharing, and let's see if we can get everybody in the view.
While you're doing,
John,
we're just going to go ahead and mention our sponsors, Christian Brothers Moving Company in Phoenix, in Texas, also here in the great state of Colorado. If you need to move anywhere in the nation, they can help. We got Eeny Meeny Grants, Denver Art Venue, Colorado Art Relief Fund. These folks help us to promote grassroots musicians, whether they're physically disabled, financially challenged, or both. And we could all use a little bit more money. Check these folks out, and also on our main page at www.intervisionfm.com, and also intervisionrecords.org. Check out our events page on those two websites. We are really shaking it and making it. Don't forget to check out our info at intervisionfm.com for any topics that you would like to see featured on our show. And it's also a great way to get connected with the newsletter. So that's all out of the way. Where do you want to start, Johnny?
Okay. This morning, and I know most of our topics are political right here, but this morning I heard something very interesting, and I say, a guy would do this. Okay. So this morning I was listening to the radio show, and they have this thing where they say, do you think your mate is cheating? Well, let's find out. And so what they do is the person who thinks that mate is cheating, they say, okay, tell us the situation, and then where do they work, and we'll call them, and we'll say we're going to either send flowers to their special person, or we'll send whatever to them and we'll find out the address and the name of the person. So this girl, she calls up and she says, well, you know, my boyfriend, he's been working out and at 9 o'clock at night, 9 to 11. And I sort of just had this little feeling. And they asked him, like, is everything else okay? Yeah, everything's great, but still. And then she says, one day, you know, he left his phone. He left his phone on the bedroom thing, and it vibrated. An announcement came up saying he has an appointment at 9 o'clock with Megan. Okay. So she says, Megan. So she pretends like she didn't see it, you know, all that kind of stuff. And he comes back and then he said, oh, and he looked at his phone and said, oh, honey, I got to go to the gym tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. Right?
My goodness.
Right. So, you know, he goes on, huh?
No, I wanted to ask, like, who could go to a gym at 9 o'clock at night?
Well, maybe the gym is open at 9 o'clock.
Maybe
That's one thing I'm just so startled upon, because I mean, even here in South Africa,
okay,
when people do workouts, like like your Planet Fitness, your gym, and all that stuff, he said that he needed to work out so he can wind down at night. You know, he says, you know, I'll get, you know, work out. I'd be tired when I come home, and you know, I'd be able to sleep better. Right? That was his excuse. Right? Oh,
okay.
Oh, now I get it. I get it.
Yeah. So the radio station, they call him. You know, he works at the supermarket, and they call him and they say, "Well, hey, we have this gift card to go to a movie with popcorn and everything like that," because he's really into movies, right? And he says, "Who would you like to send a gift card to?" But he doesn't say Megan. He says his girlfriend.
Okay.
And so now they're confused. They say, well, hey, you know, your girlfriend's on the line. She's been listening to all this. And she's saying, who the F is Megan? And he said,
oh God.
and so he says, there is no Megan. And she says, well, how come on your phone that this name Megan came up? Who the F is Megan?
Right.
Still insisting that there's a Megan. And then he says, okay. Okay, I'll tell you the truth. Megan is a person in this movie. It's a horror movie, and I know you don't like horror movies. And it was just a reminder that this movie that had the name of Megan in it was going to happen. And so I went to the movie by myself because I wanted this to be a excellent feeling for me to experience this movie. And I know you hate movies, and all of this is us, you know, buying popcorn, and you're sitting there complaining about the movies that you don't like. And I know we as guys, if you got a partner and their partner is always complaining about what you like, you say, well, why are you here? I mean, I love you, but I want to experience this because I'm really into this.
Right.
And I gotta tell you one. This is something that happened a long time ago with someone that was in my life at the time. I had I like to work with people in a recording studio.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I got to coach those persons to get the show out of them. And I knew that in my mind, I said, well, I'm not going to invite my significant other because I need to focus. I don't need to hear like, well, this person is this and that. I don't want to hear any negative. I need to get that person in a positive mood, focus. Well, later on, you know, and I said I went somewhere else. Later on, this happened a long time ago with someone that I don't know now. This happened, and they found the recording, and they said,
wow.
Johnny, you told me you went somewhere else, and you were there coaching this girl at the recording studio. Why did you want to bring me? And I'm thinking like, oh my God. So I could relate to this guy who didn't want to take his girlfriend to the Megan movie because he didn't want to hear all this BS from his significant other.
So leave a comment down below on whatever platform you're watching or listening to this on. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Truth Social, Getter, MeWe, Rumble.
Yeah. Now get this last part. He said, okay, babe, let's go to a movie tonight. And I'll take you to dinner and stuff like that. And she says, no, I'm good. You can go by yourself.
Ouch. Ouch.
Oh man. So she just said, yeah, baby, don't lie to me. You know, even though I don't like the movie, you could have just told me that it's a movie that you wouldn't like and go by yourself. So okay. So the moral of the story, guys, I guess you just should tell your significant other, and it may be a big fight because she's gonna say, well, why do you want to take me? You're gonna have another lover on the side, and she'll come up with all kinds of weird things about why you don't want to take her. But just to say, okay, if I take you, you gotta shut up and let me do my job. Or if I take you, we gotta watch this movie, and even if you hate the movie, shut up.
Honestly,
you're spoiling my enjoyment of the movie. It's a guy thing. But when I heard the story, I said, I can relate because I knew somebody that was so jealous. And you know, if a person's jealous in the first place, then you just gotta lay it out straight. And if they don't like it, that you don't want them after you know, going to this movie because you know they're gonna hate it, or if you don't want them to come to work with you because you know they're gonna interrupt your coaching of a artist. Yeah, you know, you just got to be straight with that person.
That's right. That's right.
So I guess that's the moral of the story, guys. Man up. Don't be a weenie. Don't be a beta guy. Be an alpha man. Tell that, you know, if it's a guy or if you're a woman, be an alpha woman. Just man up and woman up and just say, hey, I know you don't like, I don't know, it could be opera. So you stay here and still, because sometimes I go to like opera. I might just fall asleep and have a good nap, right? And,
that's right.
So you know, it's insulting to the other person that, I brought you to this fantastic opera with the aria and the fat lady singing on the stage, and you're asleep. I said, wow, she sings so good. You know, it's put me to sleep. Oh man,
what a great story, though.
But
you know, honesty really is always the best policy, and a person that really knows a lot about this is Hunter Biden.
Oh yes, Hunter Biden.
He's definitely been in the news for a while.
Oh, and
he's his laptop has been talked about with everybody at Great Infinitum, even to the point where, you know, they really want this news story to kind of go into the dustbin of history, so to speak. So there is a lot of distraction going on to try to get people.
And this laptop, it was the FBI had it since 2019.
Interesting.
Man,
that long, like 4 years ago.
Right.
Yep.
and they tried to block it from getting in the news. And now we're going to get to this. They're trying to bring back something that happened in 2016. They said that interfered with the election. If they would have known about that, you would have been elected, and they would have elected Hillary Clinton. But they didn't do. But they're not saying, they're not prosecuting Hunter Biden or Joe Biden because of what they did to block that information being known in October, which might have knocked Joe, the regime changer, out of office. But continue on, Alan. I had to jump that in there because it's on the top of my mind.
It's definitely a tangled web that we weave when really, honestly, it's easier for us to all just get along and to unite around the things that make us human and to unite around our commonalities. So, you know, you've got Donald Trump, who is looking at possible indictment tomorrow, being arrested. At least that's what he's telling folks.
Yeah, on a misdemeanor. It would normally be a misdemeanor, but this guy has been digging for a long time to find something.
Yeah. The interesting thing about this misdemeanor is just that it's a misdemeanor. Not really sure exactly too much about what exactly the meat and bones of the story of this is all about. But it is an idea that, or there is an idea that this is only going to be a springboard to truly get Donald John Trump reelected in 2024. Because honestly, when you martyr somebody like this, and you have been going after somebody since 2016, and you haven't really found much, and you're just digging to try to find anything, boy, at this point, we'll just have to see. It's anybody's guess at this point.
And this George Soros prosecutor, his name is Alvin Bragg, Bragg. And NPR was saying that he's such a good Christian. He teaches Sunday school classes to little children, and that's why he's such a righteous guy. But he belongs to the Democratic Party that believes in killing unborn babies. What? To the point of them being born, but yet he's so righteous because he teaches young children how to love Jesus, but he wants to kill them. He thinks it's okay to kill them before they're born.
Johnny, let me interject just a bit.
Okay,
to interject. But the one thing is, like, okay, fine. Okay, this person is righteous, right? But why does he incite what you call this, like, killing of unborn babies? Because now you are saying that this guy is also somewhat what you call teaching the Sunday school kids about Jesus and about love as well. But on the other hand, he's doing something wrong.
Or he's belonged to a group that believes in doing something wrong, and he's lockstep with that group because he's doing the bidding of that group.
Yeah, that's the thing that I'm puzzled with, because, like, even now I'm hearing you're talking about it. It's like, okay, fine, but even same as here in South Africa, like, coming to all the politics and all that stuff. Because I was going through Twitter right now. There's this tweet here. It's like 7 hours ago, where Julius Malema was saying, but on Twitter his real name is actually it's Julius Sello Malema, where he is thanking everyone who is like who has been part of this national march that was happening today. But my main concern is this thing going to happen the way they say it would? Because, I mean, look at, like, the politics itself. Sometimes you would understand that, okay, it might be a good thing to do a national shutdown, but some they criticize it and all that. But coming back to the one that you were talking about, well, it's another story, because, I mean, it's something that I've never heard before, because, I mean, it's something that was not even in my mind, but to hear it today, because like literally I was not even expecting such story when it comes to that.
Yeah, and I found it by accident, because I sometimes I'll switch on because I like to listen to the propaganda on the other side, and I like to listen to both sides. And so NPR is a state-run radio station that's ran mostly by Democrat politicians. Okay. So they always try to bend it, and they change words to make it mean what they want it to mean, for the most part. Okay. That's part of the Marxism kind of way to go. And so I guess they wouldn't say, well, they use that word, when they use the word Christian for the people that are Republicans, that means they're racist and all that stuff. But when they use the word Christian on the left, Democrats, that means they're upstanding and they're really, and then we have also a president that also, he says that he's Catholic. And usually if you're Catholic and you believe in, killing your children and all this kind of stuff, they don't give you the sacraments, right? But Biden went to the Catholic Pope, and the Pope said, hey, he's okay. I'm going to give him the sacrament. It doesn't matter if he believes in killing an unborn baby. Here's the sacrament. And then people, and the Catholics here in America say, what? So why does he get a pass? And we The people don't get a pass.
You know, it's funny
That's-
because it's all about
it is
power.
funny, yeah.
Johnny. It's all about power.
Hmm.
And really, it goes on only as long as we, the people, allow for it to go on. And this is worldwide. This
True.
isn't just in America. This is worldwide.
Hmm.
So if we decide that Julius Malema in South Africa, for instance, should be removed, if those folks decide that, in my mind, there should be a way a mechanism to get that done. Or if there be a president like we have here in America that just isn't doing the things that are necessary to provide peace and domestic tranquility, there should be a way to rectify that situation. But instead, we are being divided on a daily basis, flooded with information on a daily basis, so that we cannot unite.
Oh, let me add one more thing. Back in the 60s, there was a group called the Black Panthers, and it was a guy named Fred Hampton. And he was able to go over to the KKK group and say, hey, guys, we blacks are not your enemy. It's the Hoover, the FBI who are hitting you against us.
Right.
And the guy says, okay, we can see that. And then he went over to this radical Hispanic group and did the same thing. Well, then when Hoover got hold of that, who was the head of the FBI at the time, he says, Fred Hampton is a dangerous man, and we have to kill him.
Right.
Because he's able to bring these people together.
Right.
So for a long time in America, it's all been about if we can keep them divided and fighting with each other and not come together, then we as a government is stronger because we're looking down on them fighting each other while we're drinking having our what is that, wine and Venice, while we're watching the peasants fight amongst each other.
You know, it was really brought home to me when the former speaker, Nancy Pelosi, was talking about her $200,000 in ice cream that she had in her freezer. And
what?
Oh yeah. Yeah, tell that story.
That we should be eating or something like this. You know, it kind of reminded me of Marie Antoinette with her cake or something. You know what I mean?
Yes. She has a $20,000 refrigerator that can make all these different flavors of ice cream. And I understand, you know, she's this elected official, and maybe she can't go to a 32 flavored ice cream place in public. So therefore, she has the money. She's a millionaire, whatever. And so you buy those comforts in your house, so you don't have to put up with, you know, getting the Secret Service to block it. Michael Jackson, when he went shopping, they would close out the store and nobody could come in except for Michael Jackson, and he would shop in that whole store. Maybe, you know, she said, well, I don't want to put up with that hustle. I just buy me a $20,000 refrigerator, have all the ice creams I like right here. But then when she showed it to the public, they didn't get the nuance of maybe this is the reason why she has to have a refrigerator that makes all these ice creams in her house, and she just can't go to the 33 favorite ice cream store down at the corner.
Keep in mind, folks, this was during the Charlie's birthday and the lockdowns and all. So yeah, I mean, it was a little bit interesting, but by golly, you know, we're just people. We're all just people, and we can still unite around our commonalities, and those commonalities revolve around us being human, and that means a certain moral way that we treat people. We don't lie to each other. We don't mislead each other. Johnny was talking earlier about the cheating stuff and the, you know, guys, girls, you know, how do you deal with that when your significant other and you don't agree on a certain activity that you guys might want to do? Well, you've got to have alone time. You've got to have together time. And, you know, there's got to be time for people to have space, but there's also time for us to unite. And I really honestly believe this is a time for us to really stop having the space that we need and really start uniting around these things that make us human and that really resonate with us.
Yeah.
These,
You know what I did when I was a teenager? It was my little brother, my sister, and me, and we all like different types of movies. My little brother, he liked the karate movie, so we all agreed on those days we would go to the movie that he likes, and we wouldn't complain. We wouldn't say, "Oh, I don't like that movie." We just enjoyed it with him, you know. Then my sister, she liked the girl movies with the love and all that. We wouldn't, me and my brother, we wouldn't complain.
Oh, like chick flick movies.
Yeah, those chick movies.
Right?
We wouldn't complain. And then I liked the scientific space and comedy. Yeah. And they went to my movie. So it was in this is called democracy in action. So in the democratic way, we all went to these movies, and we had different weekends that we went to all these movies. So we didn't have to lie each other and say, "Hey, let me go to this. Let me tell my brother and sister a lie and then go off and see the movie I want." We agreed that, we would rotate these movies. But I guess when you get older, sometimes, for some reason, it gets difficult to tell that person because you don't want to hurt their feelings, that you don't want to have them spoil your movie or whatever. Well, maybe you need to hurt their feelings and just be honest. And if it hurts their feelings, then at least you're honest, and they can't say, "Well, I feel something in my gut that they're lying to me about something," right? So it's a part of maturity and being able to talk to others that have the same experience, maybe a men's group or a woman's group. So if you have the same experience, you can talk these things through. If you can't talk it through with your spouse, and then get to that point where you can talk it through with your spouse or significant other. And then, like in this country, with the whole United States thing, and for the last 7 years, they're going after Trump. Maybe there has to be an arbitrator outside of this situation to bring these factions together and say, "Hey, we have to be one country, one people, going after one goal. And we have something in common, so let's stick on those things that are common," like Alan was just saying, and not so much bent on the things that we don't have in common.
That's right.
So
don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment down below. It really helps the algorithms. But not only that, it engages you, the public, those that listen to our broadcasts in the Intervision FM universe. PayPal.me/Intervision Denver is the best way you can help us by donating, because not only are we sponsor supported, we are also listener supported. A couple of other things I did want to cover is the movie that you're making, Even Me. Back in '91, Johnny Johnson was the first, I believe, film producer who happened to be blind in Colorado. So he made a movie, an independent film called Even Me. And so he's looking to remake that. So we're looking for in front of the camera and behind the camera talent, as well as music artists, recording artists, musicians, that kind of thing. So hit us up at info@intervisionfm.com. Right. And that's info@intervisionfm.com. You'll also be set up so that you can receive our newsletter, so that each have these shows, why you'll get the topics in advance as well. Don't forget our merchandise store.
And that's that you'll find that on the intervisionrecords.org. Just look for products of Intervision, and so you'll find it in that location, intervisionrecords.org, and it might be on intervisionfm.com as well, but I'm not sure.
Latavo, for joining us all the way from South Africa. We're going to keep you in our prayers. And it's a tough time for everybody.
So definitely, like we send a positive vibes and prayers out to you as well. So we'll be back tomorrow. We'll see what the topics are going to be tomorrow. But we always like to come in with a interesting and fun topic, whatever the shape around some of our political topics sometimes, and we just want to have fun and enjoy, these productions and stuff. Anyways, So we will talk to you tomorrow, and have a fantastic day here on